Hello and welcome to lesson number 2 of your TBS videos and also lesson number 2 of Slither by Velvet Revolver. Today we're going to be looking at the main riff. So you've worked on the intro, I hope you've learned that. Should be able to learn that within a week with daily practice. So with the main riff itself, we're going to be really delving into the theory behind it. The reason for that is, especially with you guys being at your grade 3 and 4 levels, it's going to help you a lot with how to use your skills, not only in improvising, but learning how to use them to come up with your own guitar riffs like this one we are learning today. It is really important, like I have said in your lessons, not only to be able to play your scales across the strings as we learn them in the grade books, but to know the notes so well that you can play all on one string as well, which is where this particular riff has came from. From Slash's knowledge of his scales, he's found intervals of the scales to come up with this riff on one string, and it is a very, very iconic riff now and a really, really fun one to play. So first things first, I'm going to play the riff. We're then going to look at the theory behind it and what scales he's thinking in, and then just explain a little bit about how you can come up with some of this stuff yourself as well. So here's the main riff which we're going to be working on today. Okay, so do remember for this song we are tuned in drop D, meaning our low E string is a D note. I've tuned back up the pitch for this next section while we are talking about scales. Okay, so Slash thinks in 3 scales and 1 mode. He thinks in the pentatonic scale, the natural minor scale, the blues scale, and the Mixolydian mode. Now, we're not going to talk about the Mixolydian mode today. 1, because you haven't covered it. 2, because it's not really used in this song. But you have covered the pentatonic minor scale, the natural minor scale, and the blues scale in grade 1, 2, and 3. By grade 3, remember, you are expected to know any of those 3 scale types in any key on our E string, starting from our E string. We're only going to focus on 2 of those 3 scales today though, which is going to be the natural minor scale and the blues scale. The reason for that is the main riff and the rest of the parts in the song have been written using those particular scales. So let's have a look at the notes within those scales now. So this is again why it's important to know the notes in your scales. So you'll see the natural minor scale here. We have the notes of D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and back to our root note of D. And the blues scale we have D, F, G, A flat, C, and D. The reason I'm telling you this is the notes that Slash has picked out from those 2 scales to make the riff are within, obviously, those 2 scales, as I've just said there. So let's look at the riff itself, section by section. And like I said, this is how you can start using the scales. You need to learn them, like I say, know the notes within the scales, and learn them all on one string as well, be able to play them all on one string as well as across the strings. Just going to pop this guitar down a second. So let's have a look at each section of this riff. So as you can see here, the first section is D, E, F, which is actually just the first 3 notes from that D natural minor scale. If we look at the next section, we have D, G, A flat. Now where is that coming from? It's coming from that blues scale. D, G, note 3, A flat is note number 4 from the scale. Next section, we have D, C, D, G, A flat. As we can see here, this is once again taken from the blues scale. D, C, D, G, A flat. Next section is more based around, again, that natural minor scale. We've got D, F, D, D, F, D, E, which is there, and F. So you can see how Slash has thought this riff out and how it works and how you can use the scales to make up your own guitar riffs and your own guitar solos as long as you learn them well across one string, as I keep saying, and across many strings themselves. You'll then start finding a lot easier to improvise and come up with your own stuff. So we do know that the relative major to our D minor is F. So I'm going to show you, all I'm going to do is I'll put down some backing, which is the intro to this song. I've just done it on my little looping station. And all I'm going to do is play the F major scale, the D natural minor, and the D blues scale, along with the intro chords. And you'll hear, sorry about the squeaky shirt there, you'll hear how each of these scales notes work with the chords within this song. So let's start that now. So I'm going to start with the F major scale, the relative majors to this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's go blues. Natural minor. Right, let's mix all those up and come up all solo. See how, just stop that, each of those scales work with the song itself, and you can see how that's written. So I hope you've got a lot out of that. Now that we've got past all that, let's actually get on to learning the riff itself. Okay, so well done for getting through that heavy part of the lesson, which was the theory. I hope that is going to help you out with understanding this riff, and just give you that little bit of a kickstart to learn the notes within your scales, put them all on one string, and have a little go coming up with your own stuff. I'll be looking forward to getting back to school and seeing what you guys have came up with using that knowledge. So we're now going to get into the main riff itself, a nice light and easy part end to the lesson. Okay, so remember, we do need our low E string to become a low D string. And how we do that is we play our E string and normal D string together and just get them to match the same notes. As you can see, both exactly the same notes, both D notes. So when I do refer to my low E string now, I'm going to be referring to it as the low D string. So don't get mixed up and play your normal D string and A string together. It's now our low E string, which is now a D string, and our A. Okay, so we are going to split this up into little sections, and then I'm going to play it as a whole slowly. So first part of this riff is open, 2, 3 on our A and our low D string. We're going to use our first finger and second finger throughout this. So here we go. Open, 2, 3. That's open, A and low D. Then second fret of the A and low D. And third fret of the A and low D. We're then going to do open again, but we're going to do 5, 6 this time. Again with our first and second finger. So I'll put those two together. After that, we're going to play open and then 10th fret of both strings with our pinky. And then we're going to do open, 5, 6 again. So let's play everything all together. Open, 2, 3, open, 5, 6, open 10 with a pinky, open 5, 6. Last phrase in this is open, 3 with the second finger, and then open, slide from the second to the third. That's the last phrase. Open, 3 with the second finger, and open, second to third with the first. So I'm going to play that all together slowly. song as we go. One more time. Open, 2, 3 will be first and second. Open, 5, 6 will be first and second. Open, 10 will be pinky. Open, 5, 6 will be first and second. Open, 3 will be second. And open, 2, slide to 3. Practice slow first, and then once you've got it, and there we go. Just turn all the pedals off. So that is the end of your second lesson on the song. Next week we will be working on that little riff melody that comes in before it goes into the verse. And then after learning that, we will talk about how all the rest of the parts you've already learned fit into the verses, choruses, and pre-chorus. So I hope you've got a lot out of this video. Practice this loads over the next week. And I look forward to you guys tuning in next week for the last part to this song. Thank you very much, guys, and see you later.